So when my people were conquered in 70 AD by the Romans, they gloated over our victory. They were telling us to eat swine flesh, pork, or they would slit our throats. And we knew they were going to kill us anyway, so we just said slit our throats. We didn't eat the swine. They were having a party in the Most High's temple. They were slitting the throats of pigs over the temple, swine blood over YAH's temple. They had a good time, a good party. All these Romans high off their face on opium. Like, the Romans are the good guys in all the films, but they're the bad guys. If you're Caucasian, any native tribe that you came from got it by the Romans, okay? As in, they got done in by the Romans, because the Romans brought about an empire. They took away people's sovereignty. So you're looking at people like the Gauls, the Gothic tribes and all this. If you go back far enough, you would have come from one of these natives and you would have had your own lands, your own culture and beliefs. But now you've been boiled up into one place and given Roman Catholicism as a starting point. So you've also lost a lot of your origins as well. So let's jump on to Malachi 3. Returning to YAH, and YAH returning to Zion. Behold, I am sending my messenger to clear the way before me. And Yahweh, whom you seek, shall come to his temple suddenly. Boom, I'm going to stop that there. So I've explained the Most High was here. When Solomon was praying, fire would come down from heaven. When we were gotten across the river out of Egypt, 3 million of us heard the Most High speak. There's so many examples of the Most High acting in a physical manner here on earth. He guided Israel through the wilderness using a chariot. He guided Israel out of Egypt with the pillar of smoke, with the light coming out of it of a nighttime. That was a UFO, a chariot of the Most High. But since then, my people messed up, even though he did us a big favor, and he's turned his back. But he's turning around again very soon, if not, it's beginning already. Because if you haven't noticed, we're entering Jacob's trouble now with this whole COVID-19 situation. In every country, they're saying that more black people are dying, even though they only make up 15% of the population. Jacob is all the brothers and sisters out there that are still religious, or are still living like a European or an American without coming back to their ancient roots. And Jacob's name, once he realized who he was changed to Israel. So it's not called Israel's trouble that we're walking into now, it's called Jacob's trouble. And they'll be getting all the hurt. So during Jacob's trouble, it said that it would take us into the wilderness, and there he would plead with my people face to face, just like he did with our forefathers back in Egypt. So people think we're going to see God in Judgment Day. He's going to be here much before then, dealing with his people and the stranger face to face, and that will never be on TV or radio station, because at this point this would be out in the wilderness, the people that fled from Babylon when they had the opportunity to do so. But it's saying here, he will come to his temple suddenly. So boom, once all this is all in motion, the Most High will return. So I'm just explaining to you why you can't physically see God. I know I'm not doing the greatest job I could do. I'm actually a bit unwell today, and I have not eaten, just like I did when I tried recording this last week. We were at 2 o'clock, I've not eaten, so my brain power is slowly dwindling the longer this goes on for. But I'm just explaining to you that you can clearly see we live in a created world, but we can't see the creator, and everyone's scared or trying to make up solutions for it. And most people's easiest solution is to jump into what makes them feel good, what another person's told them about a religion. They've gotten involved. What they don't understand is the context, though, of what this God is saying and what happened in the past. And you can only learn this by just simply reading that book. It's not even that much of a big book, to be honest. And the message is, he was here, but his children messed up so bad, he's turned his back, because the way the Most High seen it, that was his bride. And she cheated on him, so his back's turned for now, until a portion of us return, which is happening. And the second that does, whap, the Most High's coming straight back here. And then there's going to be no questions about who the real Hebrews are, or any questions about who the Most High is, because he's going to be here again, physically, for you to see. and he won't leave once he's back here. He will be over Mount Sinai forever, and the people will congregate around this mountain and learn from the Most High himself. So bringing it back to Malachi 3, but who can endure the, yeah, my apologies guys, I am really hungry here. But who can endure the day of his coming, and who can hold out when he appears? For he is like a smelter's fire and the fuller's lye. He shall act like a smelter and a purger of silver, and he shall purify the descendants of Levi and refine them like gold and silver, so they shall present offerings in righteousness. Now the tribe of Levi was the Levitical priests, and according to the scriptures, the Levites are the first of Israel to begin waking up in the latter days. He wakes up the Levitical tribe first, so I don't know what time scale we're going on here, and nobody alive can say that they're a priest, because that has been done away with for now, until Elijah comes, and then things progress from there. But any Torah keeper that is awake right now, there's a chance they might be a Levite, but I don't know. Reading on. Then the offerings of Judah and Jerusalem shall be pleasing to the Lord, as of the days of old, as in the days and the years of old. So he's basically, remember me saying, right, that the feast days are done away with, and the Most High despises, hates the feast days. And I'll read some more in a minute to prove that point. So he used to have festivals. He used to enjoy us celebrating. He took them away. He hid himself. He's then coming back, and then they will resume, because the world will be judged. The people will be purified, and the lands will be righteous again. Now we can celebrate, because evil would have been destroyed. The evil nations and people running this world will be dealt with, and the real gods and kings of this world, the Israelites, will be back on top, and everyone in the world will benefit from it instead of suffering from this world. Then we have reason to celebrate when we can see the Most High with our own eyes. Then we have something to celebrate. But these people out here, of all different creeds, colours and kinds, they're all out celebrating an imagination, a fantasy, when they should be down on their knees begging not to be destroyed, because we have all fallen short. We have all gotten angry at people we shouldn't have. We've all broken the commandments. We've all done bad things, and the wages of sin is death. So nobody should be out here, especially these Hebrews, dressing up all prim and proper like they're something special. Do you know what I mean? Happy Sabbath, acting, making videos and praying on YouTube videos. It's like, guys, the Most High said you should dress yourself up in potato sacks and rub ash on your face, in your hair, and beg for my forgiveness walking down the street lamenting. That's what you should be doing, not out here, for one, wishing death upon people of other nations on the streets. For those of you that have seen the Hebrew Israelite camps and been put off hearing this truth because of them wicked brothers and sisters out there condemning you all to death, when they should be teaching you to keep the commandments and return back to the Most High in grace. Yes, bad things were done to my people, but they were done to us ultimately by the Most High, working through those people, and that does not give you a right to hate them. So bringing it back to Malachi 3, he's saying that the feast days will be brought back like they were in the days of old. But right now, no feast days, no sacrificing animals, no solemn assemblies. That's even meeting in quiet. A example of that would be Islam. In the mosques, they sit very quietly, they prostrate themselves and they pray. The Most High doesn't even want that. Because we are angry, he wants us to do as we're told first. He said prayer is better than sacrifice, and obedience is better than prayer. So before you start asking him for things, how about you do what you were told? Which is very simple, by the way, and all things told to us are beneficial, like what foods to eat and what not to eat, simply because most animals out there, are full of parasites, like I've mentioned, and they can sway your behavior, and in fact they do. And it's a massive inspiration behind much horror films, even up to present day films like The Strain and stuff like that. It still deal with parasites. It's a big thing, and the medical industry won't tell you about parasite infections, because 90% of things that go wrong in the human body are due to a mucus buildup, and these parasites produce mucus. So that's another topic we'll look into. I'll do the Trinity video of mind, body and spirit, and how to amplify and keep healthy these 3 factors, because all 3 of them need to be kept to tip-top condition, and if one is lacking, then we will fail at life. So there's no Trinity of God. The Most High is one. We're the Trinity of mind, body and spirit. They're the 3 elements that we are made up of, the 3 spiritual elements. So bring it back to Malachi 3. But first, I will step forward and so this is just bringing it back that you will do the feast days and offerings again like the days of old. But first, considering what you've done, but first I will step forwards to contend against you, and I will act as a relentless accuser against those who have no fear of me, who practice sorcery, who commit adultery, who swear falsely, who cheat laborers of their hire, and who subverts the cause of the widow, the orphan, the stranger, says the Most High, the Sabaoth. Sabaoth means Lord of armies in Hebrew. For I am Yahweh, I have not changed, and you are the children of Jacob who have not ceased to be. Islam claims that the fountain of Jacob was broken and given over to Ishmael, Ishmael being the forefather of the Arabs, hence why they have their Quran and believe that they are now holding the torch of Yahweh that they call Allah. But Yahweh and Allah are not the same thing. You cannot call them the same name. There's brothers out there, Hebrew, saying, oh, you can call Allah whatever you can call the Most High whatever you want. Allah, YAH, they're all the same. No, they're not. When did it ever say that in the Torah, my friend? Where does the Most High say you can call me whatever God you want? Or are you making up bullshit? You've got your face on YouTube, you've got your hair all done up all nice and pristine, but what have I mentioned before? The Most High said you should rub soot in your hair, bro. Not, you don't necessarily literally have to go and do that, but he's trying to make you see and to humble you down. Because I'm not going out wearing potato sacks, but it reminds me how far I've fallen as a person, and that I can't walk down these roads with my head up high until I've been cleansed by the Most High himself and approved. Until then, I'm the same as you, regardless of what I know and the life that I live, even if I'm keeping the commandments 100 times better than other people here listening. So there's this brother up here telling people you can call the Most High Yah, Allah. No, you can't. Listen, there's a Hebrew word called Alahayim, which is spelled differently, that means power. That's a word. Allah is a name, and Allah declares different things than what Yahweh does, so you can't call him the same name. And then calling it Jah, well, there's no letter J in Hebrew. There's no letter J in Hebrew, so his name wasn't Jah. That's for Jehovah, which is not Yahweh. That's a different God. Jeez. Sorry to get a bit wound up, but there's nothing more, if this is all right, there's nothing more serious than this. And these idiots, I'm trying to not use harsh language, these morons are going out here going, yeah, you can do this, you can do that. Yeah, but who told you that, man? Or have you just made it up? Have you just come up with it, your own assumption? Oh, as far as I can see, which would be wrong in seeing this, but as far as I can see, all the world's religions are basically teaching the same thing. So they're all the same God, I'm going to call them whatever. I know I'm going to make a video so I can sound extra. That's what they're doing. It's with the most important stuff ever, do you know what I mean? If you want to be popular, then go on what's it called, Snapchat or TikTok or whatever, and go and sing to some boy's own or whatever. Don't be messing around with the Most High, do you know what I mean? Because if you do, I promise you, you will regret it. Not by another man's hands. The Most High himself will deal with you, man, very soon. So be careful what you say. So bringing it back, for I am the Most High Yah, I have not changed. You are the children of Jacob, you have not ceased to be. From the very days of your fathers, you have turned away from my laws and have not observed them. Turn back to me, and I will turn back to you, says Yahweh, the Sabaoth. But you ask, how shall we turn back? Ought a man to defraud God? Yet you are defrauding me, and you ask, how have we been defrauding you? And I say, in tithe and contribution. So the Most High is saying, do you want to know me? Well, I don't think you do, because you're doing all this mad stuff, and people are going, well, how have we offended you? And he goes to your tithes and your contributions towards me, which are lacking. You think flicking through a few random pages of the scriptures, of the false scriptures of the gospels, is a contribution to me, instead of studying diligently like I told you? Do you think a tithe of an incense stick or of an animal, or you bowing down, is going to please me when you don't even do what I've told you to do? The Most High says you are suffering under a curse, yet you go on defrauding me, the whole nation of you, meaning all of Israel, are still out. Happy Sabbath act, or praise Jesus, or praise Muhammad, peace be upon him, and all these other things, while you're suffering under a curse in the land of your enemies. And any stranger must be suffering a curse too, to a degree, otherwise he wouldn't be trying to get out of here as well and find the Most High. He's not happy with Christianity, he's not happy with Islam, he's not happy with the Hebrew Israelites. He's still here, but he's on this video listening right now. So we are all cursed. This world is infected with parasites, infected with evil, but you're all out here praising a God that is not showing himself to you. Bring the full tithe into the storehouse, and let there be food in my house, and thus put me to the test, says the Lord of hosts. I will surely open the floodgates of the sky for you, and pour down blessings on you, and I will banish the locusts from you, so that they will not destroy the yield of your soil, and your vines in your field shall no longer miscarry, says Yahweh. So the Most High saying, the second you come back to me, all of these troubles in the world will go. You will be fed. And I don't think it just means getting your belly fed. I'm talking about the mind, body, and the spirit getting fed. That the land won't fail you and all these things, which are still happening today. So is Saudi Arabia, an Islamic country, getting flooded constantly and getting attacked by locusts and all natural disasters? What about Africa, highly spiritual land? Is that getting ravaged right now by flames and locusts? Yes. The Most, like, come on guys, like, this is how the climate change goons are getting away with it all, because they were like, oh, greenhouse. But no, the Most High is setting this place on fire, and it's going to continually get worse and worse and worse until you all drop your idols and return back to them and call them back, and then like that it will stop. Okay? And all the nations shall account you happy, for you shall be the most desired of the lands, says the Most High. You have spoken hard words against me, saying, YAH. But you ask, what have we been saying amongst ourselves against you? You have said, it is useless to serve God. What we have gained by keeping his charge and walking in abject law to the Lord of hosts? ? And so we account the arrogant happy. They have indeed done evil and endured. They have indeed dared God and escaped. The Lord has heard and noted it, and a scroll of remembrance has been written at his beset concerning those who revere the Lord and esteem his name. And on that day I am preparing, says the Lord of hosts, there shall be my treasure possession. I will be tender towards them as a man is tender towards a son who ministers to him. And you shall come to see the difference between the righteous and the wicked, between him who has served God and him who has not served him. For lo, the day is at hand, burning like an oven. All the arrogant and all the doers of evil shall be straw on the day that is coming, says the Lord of hosts. He shall burn them to ashes and leave them neither stock nor bonds. But for those who revere my name, a son of victory shall rise to bring healing. Sun, meaning S-U-N, the sun in the sky. You shall go forth and stamp like stall-fed calves, and you shall trample the wicked to a pulp, for they shall be dust beneath your feet on the day that I am preparing, says the Lord of hosts. Be mindful of my teachings of my servant Moses, whom I charged at Horeb with laws and rules for all of Israel. Lo, I will send the prophet Elijah to you before the coming and awesome, fearful day of the Most High Yahweh. So the Most High here is saying, be mindful of my servant Moses. And this is for the latter days. He didn't say for my son Jesus that I'm sending to you. He didn't say for Muhammad that I'm sending to you. He said about the man that already lived, Moses. Amos 5:24. Surely the day of the Most High shall not be light, but of darkness, the blackest night without glimmer. I loathe, I spurn your festivals. I am not appeased by your solemn assemblies. If you offer me a burnt offering, or your meal offerings, I will not accept them. I will pay no heed to your gifts of fatlings. Spare me the sound of your hymns, and let me not hear the music of your lutes. But let justice well up like water, righteousness like an unfailing stream. So here, he's done away with your feast days. Whatever religion you belong to, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hebrew Israelites, whatever it is, he's sick of whatever you're doing to celebrate or to have festival. But he said, let righteousness, let justice well up, as in be better first and be righteous first, because anybody involved in religion, according to these scriptures, is not righteous, not even one of them. And concerning the Sabbath and the feast days, Isaiah chapter 1, so the very first words coming out of Isaiah, this is what the Most High says. What need have I of all your sacrifices, says Yahweh. I am sated with the burnt offerings of rams and the suet of fatlings and the blood of bulls. I have no delight in lambs and he-goats. But you want me to go and kill one because I don't follow your human sacrifice? I don't think so, my friend. Then you come to appear before me. Who asked it of you? Here we go. Let me just read that again. What need have I of all your sacrifices, says Yahweh. I am sated with burnt offerings of rams, the suet of fatlings, and the blood of bulls. I have no delight in the lambs and he-goats. That you come to appear before me. Who asked it of you? So you're all out here sacrificing, doing all this stuff in all these temples, mosques and synagogues. The Most High said, who asked you to do that? Who asked you to do that? Because the Most High Yahweh didn't. He hates religion, and this is why I want you guys to understand that that book over there, the Tanakh, the Torah, is anti-religion. It's anti-worship. If you can't even meet in solemn assembly, that just destroys all these religions out here, all these people asking for money, all the wars being fought, all the arguments, all the mysticism behind it all, you know, all these like devils and demons, all this mad stuff they've got going on, all the history, the theology. There's so much destruction that religion causes, and people can go, yeah, it's got good things. No, that's just taking advantage of the best parts of humanity. Like, humanity is a dreadful and beautiful creature. Because we've eaten off the tree of good and evil, it doesn't have a cap on how good we can be or how evil. It is complete 50-50 duality, like yin and yang. It really is. So whatever beauty man can do can be matched by his evils. And religion definitely brings out the worst in people and makes it hard to bring out the best in yourself, because you feel convicted all of the time. I'll try to get onto these scriptures in a minute, but the Most High says, because you know, all these religions are saying you've got to stop sinning, you've got to be perfect, or if you're lukewarm, I'm going to spit you out my mouth, all that stuff, right? That leaves you with uncertainty and a divide within yourself. The Most High in the scriptures knows that you are imperfect. All of us are, and he's not expecting you to become a perfect creature. In order to save you, he just asks you to try. So if you take 2 steps back, take 3 forwards. If you take 4 back, take 4.5 forwards. Just don't give up. You know what I mean? If you get knocked out, get back up again and try again. That's it. He said, even when I bring you through the wilderness into the promised land again with your fetishes, that's what it says. They've taken that word out of the King James and onwards, but in the original Tanakh, it says, your fetishes, come to me with them and I'll make you clean. I will sprinkle clean water on you and make you whole again. So Don't worry about all that stuff, just do better. The main thing is don't be asking for help off these fake deities. The only one that is behind the ground that you walk on is called YAH. The existence, I exist, that's what it means in ancient Hebrew. Christianity won't work for you, and any benefits that you've got was through your own strength and the Most High blessing you, but then you made him jealous by giving it off to an idol, okay? Okay, we're still on Isaiah 1, 12 to 16. So the Most High said, who asked these things of you to do these things? He says, no more, no more. Bringing obligations is futile. Incense is offensive to me. So you know them little smelly sticks that smell nice? Aromatherapy, he's offended, right? You can't, the God of all creation is offended because you're lighting a smelly stick in festival of him, and that's annoying him. Like, you guys have got to understand that how furious the Most High is. It explains his anger like a cup that it's filling up, and it's to the point that it's going to overflow the brim of this cup of his indignation. And it says on that day, the stars and the moon and the sun are going to stop giving their light. Imagine just that alone, what that will do to the world, like how cold it will be. And it writes that he will then travail like a woman in labor, like letting out a scream, and then he's going to mash all of these people that didn't listen. So that's the end point. But right now, he's so upset with religion that even burning a smelly stick he's used the word offensive. That's a strong word. It's not like I'm bothered or I don't like it. He said I'm offended. Like, if you cause someone an offense, they have the right to retaliate, you know what I mean? If they have a righteous offense to it. So if someone spilled some water, that's not righteous for me to then go and do something about it. It's just water. But if someone's destroyed the entire planet through false religion and lies and all this stuff, then the Most High has a right to just like destroy that completely. But it's given us the time to get it right first before it does that. So it says no more. Bringing obligations to me is futile. Incense is offensive to me. New moon and Sabbath, proclaiming of solemnities, assemblies with inequity, I cannot abide. So he's talking about your new moons, your Sabbaths. You're proclaiming you're going to be solemn, and assemblies which he finds are full of iniquity, I cannot abide. So your temple, your mosque, your synagogue are not the places of the Most High. He is not here right now. If your temple was, or your synagogue or your church was of the Most High, you'd see flames of fire coming out of the sky, okay? And the building getting so full with the Spirit of the Most High that nobody can stand inside it. We're not seeing that across the land. So your religions are lying, okay? I don't mean to disrespect you, and I respect those of you that are out there that are genuinely trying to become better people and seek the face of the Most High. I commend you on that. But what you are doing now is breaking the first commandments. You believe you're worshipping the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, right? Of Moses. I'm reading the verses from that book of what Moses and Abraham and Jacob have spoken, and this is what it's been saying. And your books do not say these things, they say different things, okay? So you're just fooling yourselves, and you can hate on me all you want. I am not giving my opinion. I've not told you what I think. I have once, about animal sacrifice, that I'm not happy with it. That was my only thought out of this whole video so far. All I've done is explain to you what it is written in plain English, verses that you ignore. I'm reading them out for you, and the very clear context of what's happened since the Promised Land and today. That's it. I haven't gone to any extra sources outside of the scriptures to tell you these things. I'm just reading it straight. And they're books that you don't read. If you're a Muslim, you read the Quran. If you're a Christian, you read the Gospels. If you're a Jew, you read the Talmud and delve into Psalms every now and then, do you know what I mean? So you aren't reading the original book. Like, it's very simple. If you don't want to get lied to, or you want to have the full understanding and context, then go back to the beginning. How many films have you watched halfway through to the end and not watched the beginning first? Like, but you've done it with the most important topics ever, and then when someone says anything different, you're prepared to kill them over it. You moron. I'm sorry to swear twice, but if I'm going to swear over anything, it's something as severe as this. And when you lift up your hands, I will turn my eyes away from you. Though you pray at length, I will not listen. Your hands are stained with crime. Wash yourselves clean first. Put your evil doings away from my sight. Cease to do evil, then I will hear you. And evil, as far as the Most High is concerned, numero 1, is worshipping false gods. So if you want your prayers to be heard, how about you stop worshipping idols first? Okay, this is Ezekiel 20, chapter 41 onwards. For only on my mountain, this is where the Sabbath will be held, and where the Most High will be visible, where he was visible, and where he'll be visible again, which is the land which he has placed his name, which is Jerusalem, Mount Sinai. For only on my mountain, on the lofty mountain of Israel, declares Yahweh, there in the land, the entire house of Israel, all of it, must worship me. There I will accept them, and there I will take note of your contributions and the choicest of offerings of all your sacred things. When I bring you out from the peoples and gather you from the lands in which you were scattered, I will accept you as a pleasing odor, and I will be sanctified through you in the sight of the nations. Then, when I have brought you out to the land of Israel, to the country that I swore to give to your forefathers, you shall know that I am Yahweh. So that's when we return to the Sabbath and all of the great and happy things, when we are back by his mountain, when he is there visible for us to worship. Now, throughout my journey of being agnostic to looking into Buddhism, I've delved in much deeper than all this, but I'm just giving you a summary. From Buddhism to Christianity to being a black Hebrew Israelite to then going into Torah. During that whole time, I never felt comfortable keeping any festival days. It's just so superficial about it and fake, But then I read back and I see that when the Most High was asking to be worshipped, he was here visible for you to worship, and gave you great signs and wonders to show his approval. And that is not happening today, is it? Is it? No. Out of any church anywhere? No. So all the religions are wrong. And the Most High says, the second you stop with all these religions, enough of you, and you return back to my ways, I will take you out of these lands and take you back home. I will make you clean, and then you will be sanctified in front of the entire world through me. So you'll be standing there all clean, and you'll be standing behind you Mount Sinai with an eternal flame reaching all the way to the heavens. Who's going to argue with you then? So this is why it's so important not to be in these religions, because Islam thinks that their road to victory is by the sword, but they're going to find out eventually that they were all wrong and that they have committed all these acts falsely. The Most High said, I'm going to deal with it. You just keep the 10 Commandments, eat clean, treat everybody well, like keeping the 10 Commandments, and improve as a person. So whatever issues you've got, if you can't deal with people that are rude to you, then work on it. If you're lashing out on people, work on it. If you've got mad insecurities that are stopping you treating people that you love in the best way, work on it. You know what you need to do, because the Most High will be telling you on an individual level, be that a voice in your head or through circumstance, but you know as an individual what you need to work on, so just work on it. That's it. If you're a Christian or just a truther, it's so simple. There's a creator, and simple as it should be. There's a creator. It doesn't want any worship of you. It just wants you to behave. It wants you to eat clean and to stay out of trouble, and it's giving you good directions of how to stay out of trouble, and to stop curses coming about in your life. So a curse is circumstance. So if you're an alcoholic, the curse, the circumstance is become an alcoholic, as in you're addicted to it, and it drains your mental faculty and your physical health. It's a big killer. So that's the curse of it. If you do too much bets, the curse is you become a gambler. You can't control your gambling addiction. So it gives you the guidelines to stop curses or circumstances getting in the way, so you can speed through life and not get tripped up. That's it. Like if you've got a son and you know there's a fence, and if you go over the fence it's like a 50-foot drop, that's like having a son going, oh my God, he's just trying to spoil my fun. Oh my, you know what I mean? But if someone's standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon, they're gonna be happy no matter what age they are. They're happy that fence is there. So it's a stigma about religion that is made, that God's saying, right, you do this, you do that, and if you don't want to kill her. It's not like that. It's the other way around. The first spirit it comes to you at, the first spirit of the Most High is wisdom. Wisdom is a woman, so it's coming at you like a mother. That's how you need to see these commandments at first. It's just caring for you. It's giving you the ability to manifest the God-given energy that you have in evil or good, and he's aware that there's billions of people around you with that same ability. So he's given you guidelines, commandments, how to operate through this evil time that we're living in. And anybody that returns, no matter who they are, can get into the kingdom. Now this is why I was made. This is why I was made. Do you understand me? It's to tell you these things. I am a Hebrew Israel. I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but I don't want to be defined by that because of how many bad ones there are that are in the Gospels. So I just call myself a Hebrew. But I am a Hebrew, and funnily enough, isn't it my job to, like we mentioned at the beginning of the video concerning what Albert Pike wrote about, since Israel was destroyed, the rest of mankind lost its perception of the Most High. According to that Torah, isn't that why we were made? To help you understand God. That's why he picked us, and if it weren't us, it would have been some other people. And soon it will be everybody in the world, because everyone at that point will know the Most High because he'll be here. So that bit of individuality that we have in that regard will seem more clear back then. But as it is now, for whatever reason, he picked my people to be the teachers of this world, to teach you about him. So Abraham is one of my forefathers, Jacob is one of my forefathers, and it goes all the way back to Adam, okay? And this is why I have this knowledge. And you're not going to hear it on the TV, you're not going to hear it from an institution, you're going to hear it from the lowest of the low and the poorly. Like, I don't even have carpets on my floor, for goodness sakes. Well, I am wiser than 90% of the people walking the face of this earth, as the Most High is my witness. And it's not just about the scriptures that I'm aware of. There's any subject you can think of, I'm going to be up there, most likely than not, with what I know. And I am just simply here to help you. I'm not asking you for a single thing. And I'm not saying to, what you should go and do is go and read the Torah for yourself and study for yourself. And it takes time, no pressure, no rush. And the truth is just so simple. It's real spirituality, real growth, real consciousness. It's not a fake movement. There's no leader, there's the Most High, and there's no set way of being. It's all individual. Like how the Spirit of the Most High manifests in you will manifest differently in me. We might not even get on as friends, but what we both know is you can sleep next to me safely, because you know I belong to the Most High and I keep the commandments. I'm not going to bust your door down over a religious dispute. I'm not going to bust your door down through wickedness or anything like that. So, people, and another thing, don't try and like me, because everyone's looking for a mankind teacher. And for some reason, we have to like the guy in order to agree with him. But I can learn off my enemies, so don't, I know it's unavoidable. You're going to try and suss out if you like me or not. But what I'm trying to say is just don't put so much emphasis on trying to figure out who I am, and just listen to what I am saying, because I'm just reading out of this Torah here and explaining the context of it, because people in the billions just aren't doing that right now for various reasons. They want to be knowledgeable and have all this extra complicated stuff going on so they can seem good in other people's eyes. I don't want to go through them, but there's so many reasons why people are twisting words, not studying properly, cutting corners. So I hope you take something positive from this. and understand that it is very different than what everyone's saying, and it's different because it's the truth. And like I said, if you're hearing this message, the Most High has chosen you in some way, through circumstance, through synchronicity, for you to see the link, or however you find your way here. It was meant to happen. There's no mistakes. So you must be needed in some way. So I hope the message is clear, that you understand it and you progress from here. And any questions, you can reach me through the comment section. I will leave a link to my Instagram page. Now, I don't upload on Instagram, but it's just a way for you to DM me directly. And it also has the ability to leave voice messages so we can communicate faster instead of typing things out. So that link is there. Okay, my brothers and sisters and the stranger attached to us, may YAH bless you and good luck with everything. Well, I don't believe in luck, but you know what I mean. I wish you good fortune, and I hope to see you in the kingdom in the future. This is AL, son of the Most High Yahweh, bringing you the true words of the prophets of the Torah Tanakh, and exposing the religions for what they are. Okay, my brothers and sisters, I'll speak to you soon. YAH bless.